associates who pray with me, who encourage me, who are on this journey with me. I post about it all the time. Like, I have the greatest circle and the greatest support system. And it wasn't like that a couple years ago. Like, it literally took my prayers and me being open to God's timing as it relates to him changing the hearts of my current friends, and just being open to receiving new people. So prayer first, grace second, and just being open to whatever it is that God wants to do.
Yep.
Any more questions? Great
this
questions.
This is so fun.
It is.
Oh my God. Any more questions? I know our homegirl, she got another question coming, right?
I feel it coming on.
Okay, well, I'll say this too, on the friends thing, because it was such a crucial time in my spiritual journey, because most of my friends weren't I'm not going to say unbelievers, but they weren't interested in pursuing a relationship with Christ at the time. I grew up in a very strict church home. My whole family is Kojic, so it's strict, super filled with rules. So when I was an adult and I tried to do this thing on my own, I of course went back to those rules. So I was so critical about people. I was so trying to change and do it turbo. I was so critical of my friends. But then at the same time, I would be critical 2 days out of the week. But then as soon as, Thirsty Thursday came, I was rolling with my girls. So I realized that I had to be consistent. They weren't going to take my spiritual journey seriously if I didn't. No matter how valid my points were, no matter how much I yelled at them or expressed my opinion, they did not want to hear what I had to say unless I was taking it seriously myself. So I think as I grew, naturally I became an example. Not saying that I was their spiritual leader, but I think they not even took it more of a, I'm sorry y'all,
might be dying.
I think they respected me more, actually. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I didn't motivate them to follow Christ, but they respected my decisions, and so they wouldn't ask me out all the time. And at first I would be offended, dang, why y'all didn't tell me about this? But then it was oh, I get it. They respect me. They know that my interests are changing, so I don't need to be invited every time. I don't need to be invited just so I can decline. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need to feel special anymore. I appreciated that they were respecting my lifestyle change enough to let me skip out.
Yeah.
Who said that was Diamond? Okay, y'all, I'm going to step away for a second, and when I come back, I'm going to have my green smoothie because I'm about fitness life too.
Okay, we have another question. Y'all get to see all my makeup when I'm reading these questions. Okay, so that question was, how have we balanced our relationship with God with the other things that we're doing in our lives? This is so much pressure doing this by myself. I would say it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a journey, but you have to be intentional in it, just like any other relationship. When you get into a new friendship or a new relationship with a significant other, you have to incorporate that into everything else that you were already doing, whether it's work, school, family. You have to find a way to make that person feel important, find a way to bring value to it and continue to build on it in the midst of everything else that you're doing. So whether that means getting up early to pray or getting up early to just get before God in silence or worship music, whether that means putting in a notice at work to make sure you can make it to a Bible study. Well, not notice to quit, but changing your availability, whatever it means for you in particular, however your relationship grows with God. For me, worship music is very important, prayer is very important, and regular church attendance. So that means that my work availability is, and if it's applicable, my work availability is no Sundays. Because that's an important relationship for me to seek. That means that I have to make time throughout my busy week sometimes to sit before God silently and journal and just listen to my worship music or however. Putting it into your schedule and making it just as important as your family, your significant other, your boo. You make time for them no matter what you have going on. So I would just say for me, it's really just being intentional.
I have a funny story about putting church in your schedule.